Something's been happening with this podcast. Not just one episode, but the whole journey has been leveling up. The conversations have gotten deeper, the healing has gotten more real, and I've started to feel the shift happening inside me too. It's like stepping into the man I've always known that I could be. So today isn't about just one highlight or moment or a big guest. It's about the evolution that's been happening within us all, quietly, consistently, and powerfully. So let's talk about what it looks like when growth stops being a phase and starts becoming your lifestyle. Welcome back to the Clean Life Cast, where healing becomes a movement. I'm your host, Mason Anderson. I'm here with my brother and co-host, Daniel Tapasua. There's no guests, no distractions, just real conversations about the journey that we're on. We've both been feeling some shifts lately, not just in the podcast, but inside ourselves. And today we want to talk about that. What growth actually feels like, how to stay aligned when life starts changing, and why the person that you're becoming matters more than the one that you left behind. So I'm super grateful to be here, brother.
I am too. This sounds like a dope conversation right here.
It's gonna be awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Things have been going really well, like analytically, and like for our podcast, it's been going great. Like all your guys' support has been like, I can't even tell you how much it means to us. It's been, I mean, it's just changing my whole world. The content of the podcast, the fact that we do have your guys' support, that we're actually seeing that it's affecting and helping other people. It's just been a beautiful journey. So I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys as well. We do need some help though. The shares are helping. Subscribes will help a lot, us a lot to be able to help us take a next step into going live, right?
Right. We need a certain
Um,
amount of people to be subscribed so that we can go out do live podcasts. But
yeah,
also it helps with the algorithm, helps us with a lot of the things are gonna come from you guys actually hitting the subscribe button and following us, and that would be so helpful.
yeah. And it'll help us be able to reach more people that are on the same journey as us, that go through the same things as us, and sometimes different things, but may be able to apply things that we've talked about in the past, and maybe it might hit different for them or hit the same as it did for you folks. But this is just us trying to make healing a movement, um, and and helping people. I know this podcast helps me, which is what we're going to talk about today. And let's go from there.
Yeah, let's go. So bro, the first question is like, how have you been feeling lately? Like what kind of things have been happening inside yourself? What shifts for you personally?
All good.
Good.
All good shifts. Like just these conversations alone. Like I would have never thought like just sitting with somebody, conversating about things that we've been through, things that helped me grow, things that have been problems on my mind but are no longer problems. Um, I never thought that that simple act of communication would be so beneficial. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because like although I'm talking about things I've been through with somebody that's been through it too, like the growth and the aligning of values, of morals, this podcast has benefited me in so much, that I hope you guys feel the same way. I just love doing it. I've said it on our earlier episodes that if I'm the only one that benefits from us doing this podcast, I'd be cool with it because it it's just been so helpful. I look This is something I definitely look forward to. Um, Something I definitely don't want to miss if we can't make it. It's because we have other things aligned. But man, like it's it's definitely helped me communicate with other people that are struggling. I worked at a recovery facility called Wasatch Recovery. Um, this podcast has helped me be able to express myself better, um, to show more empathy because of things I've been through. It's just an all around boost, level up type thing, and I love it, man.
I really love it too, and, like, I think that that's all really amazing, and I see that happening in you too, and
Yeah,
so, like, that's awesome to see, and I think, like, for myself, like, a lot of, like, I've done a lot of since this podcast started, I've went on real soul journeys, like, really digging deep into myself and trying to, like, find more to think about and more to, like, be aware about in my own self, and, like, I've said it before on the podcast where it's like, I'll go we'll record a podcast on a certain topic or subject, and then I'll notice that happening in my life that week. Like right after the
yeah,
podcast is over, I'm like, oh man, this is what we just talked about. And now
yeah.
it's like right here in front of my face. Now I have the choice of how I'm going to respond to the things. And so that's been super beneficial for me. Another thing that's been really beneficial is like coming
Wait,
up with topics. Go ahead.
before you go to the next one. Don't forget where we talk you're gonna go for next, but the part where you talk about what we just did happening later on, it's dope because if it doesn't happen from me, it's people around me saying, "Man, I was just going through that." So it does like either way, if it's not happening to me, it's affecting people right around me going through the same things that we just talked about.
I love
And
that,
I
bro.
love that. But
That's
anyways,
so true too.
yeah,
And another thing along those lines is like
sorry.
us doing that podcast with Arnie last week. Like we were in the room with him having the conversation. I went back and was editing it, bro, and just kept getting emotional. Like I
Yeah,
get
same.
emotional watching it after I'm like, man, I was there for it, but it just
Yeah,
hits me in this way that's just like so powerful. And then you start like really like being able to be in the moment and have the conversation is one thing, and it's growth in that. But then
yeah,
when you go back and you watch it from the like a viewer's perspective, it's like
yeah.
deep, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've we talked about we both watch episodes again because like it just hits different from a viewer perspective than someone in the conversation, right? Um it's an old quote that says no person crosses the same river twice because as the river changes, so does the person, right? Like, so you can never cross the same river twice. It's like I said it before, it's like the same thing of people having bookshelf full of books that they already read. And when they read it again, they said, man, I found new things. That's impossible. It's impossible to find new things because all the words are in the same order on the same page, page after page. The reason why they find new things is because they change, right? When we first started doing this podcast, it was just us doing a podcast. Now this feels like I get healing becoming a movement because when you hear people come up to you and say thank you,
Yeah, it's huge
it's it's a movement, right? And the more people we get in to help move, the lighter the load, you know?
for
Like the
sure.
more people you get, like I'm glad that you're in my circle. You definitely help lift weight when my legs are not strong enough, you know? Um I appreciate you so much for helping put us together. But man, this podcast is life changing. I'll speak for myself. It's changing my life and for the better.
You mine too, brother. And I'm super grateful for you as well. And like
Yeah.
this wouldn't be able to be without you. And so it's
Yeah.
like I'm just
Same.
grateful that we have each other in this moment.
Yeah.
And we have everybody that's supporting us because
Yeah.
without the support, this wouldn't be a thing. And is and the thing is like as each week goes by or each month goes by, and like I start seeing like the things like actually picking up and people starting to like continuously follow come watch our episodes or continuously find support and love in it. It shows that like the content's real, the because our hearts are in the right place, the love's in the right place, and the message is meant for us, like the viewers and us. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's meant for all of us to be able to really find healing, find peace, find passion, find purpose. And that's really what the whole mission is about. And so the fact that it's all come into one, it seems like only God could have aligned it like that, you know?
I believe that. I believe that so much. Like there's no way that we could have just sat down and planned this any better.
No way.
Like this is going so much better than I would have ever guessed from episode 1. Like I was just the thing about my journey was trying something that I've never done before. This guy said, in order to get something you never had, you must try something you never have. Be on a podcast. Why not? I've never done it before. And it was just try something different. Never guessed they would have got me here.
Right.
And we're not even 20 episodes in.
This is 20.
Oh,
And
this is 20.
that's
Let's
the
go. Big 2-0.
that's the whole point of us doing this little reflection thing. Cause I remember in the very beginning, I was like, imagine when we're on the 20th episode,
Yeah.
what would it be? And so now when we think back, it's like, holy cow, like that it's even better than I could have imagined back
Same.
in episode 2, thinking, where would we be on the 20th episode? It's like we're in a whole different world.
Man, if I can't even that just blew my mind, right? If 20 episodes make me feel this good, and hopefully it does for everybody else out there listening. If only listening to 20 episodes and us doing 20 episodes make me feel this good, bring the other 20, bring the next 200,
Let's
bro.
go, bro.
Like, I can't even imagine how I feel about where we're at when we hit 100 or 200 or
100,
whatever.
bro, is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, if the journey is this great, man, like, I feel like it went from blast off and the next moment we're in Mars already. Like the trip should have not been that fast, but the growth I'm experiencing for me and the growth I see in my homie Mason right here, has been so great.
Right,
Like
truly.
so great. And it's just another added bonus to the journey I was already on.
So what kind of moments recently have like shown you that you're growing? Like what kind of things have been happening to let you know that like you're in growth mode?
I don't know.
Okay.
You
So like for
you
myself, like
tell me.
what I'm learning about myself is like the over like striving and trying so hard for success, which way in the beginning of these episodes, like that was where my mindset was all business, all
Yeah.
drive, all like grind time, all like I wasn't slowing down for nothing. And now I'm learning that like it's more important for me to feel aligned and present
Oh,
than
okay.
anything else. Like, and that's something that these episodes have taught me. And also like having some success in the podcast and success in my businesses and success in the things that are happening in my life made me realize that like luckily I caught it early on because some people do this for 20 years before they realize this, but like that's not going to bring me the happiness.
Yeah.
Like what's going to bring me happiness is being content with where I'm at and who I am and knowing that I embody the person that I say that I am. So like the fact that I'm showing up as this person, this is who I truly am. Like if we were having this conversation off camera, this would you would get the same person because this is just who I am. And that's like making me feel confident and strong in myself and know that like, you know what, like if I can show up like this in at church, or I can show up like this with just me and Daniel, or I could show up like this on the podcast, then it's like this is who I truly am in my core.
You know what's dope about that is that before Mason pressed record, we were talking and we were getting into a dope conversation, and this is just backing up what Mason said. Um I said stop, let's do it on a recording because Mason is really like this. I remember this guy at a meeting said if you're an honest person, you don't need a good memory. And the way Mason's describing himself, he is like this wherever he goes. Like he doesn't have to have a good memory because the story he tells me off camera is the same way he's acting on camera. This is not a show. This is just Mason Anderson,
Thank you.
right? Everywhere he goes, he's like this. A dope guy. An honor to call my friend and brother. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good.
It means a lot.
Yeah, and for me, the way the way it helped me is the same thing as you. Like it helped me come to an understanding of my like what I believe about me, which has been a struggle. Even like I've got some time under my belt. In March it'll be like 3 years. But the core belief part, mostly the self-worth part has been a struggle. But doing this podcast helped me build confidence on my self-worth. I love me, but there's certain parts of me that I tend to stray from because the doubt, the doubt that I do deserve or am worthy of things. Doing this podcast and meeting the people we've talked to helped me understand that I am worthy because I'm putting in the work for anything that I want to head to, you know.
Right.
And that's what makes me believe, like, just being here, talking to you, talking to other people helps me understand that everything about me is all about me, and whatever I want to make it, whatever I want to be worthy of, I'm worthy of. It's all in my head, and that's where I gotta switch the flip. I mean, flip the switch, and make it true for me. Like I'm the only one that's gonna prevent myself from being on a scale of 1 to 100, 100. Like I'm the only one stopping me from being at 100. And doing this podcast has definitely helped me reach higher than what I rate myself before.
Hey, that's awesome. And you know what's really wild about that, particularly, is like that you could be on the journey of healing and on the journey of worthiness and on the journey of doing the things and still have those doubts creep up where it's
Yeah.
like you start like I do it a lot too, where it's like I'm I'm doing the things, I'm working in the direction that I want to be working in. I'm
Yeah.
feeling more confident, but that doesn't mean I don't have the fear pop in and tell me like, but you're not doing enough or
Yeah.
you're not. And then that part of me that has to go back. And that's where the second part of where this journey has really helped me, the healing becoming a movement thing is like the presence part, where it's
Yeah.
like when I start getting worked up in any way, shape, or form, if I start getting like anxiety, if I start feeling anger, if I start feeling anything building, I have to remember myself like, okay, like relax, take a breath. So I sit back and breathe for a second, bring it back down to like real life. And then I'm like, I'm fine, you know?
Yeah. Here, so when you're talking, this is the reason why it makes sense, right? We went through our recovery journey, build up all these weaknesses into strengths, and it was strong for the person we were at that time. But as we grow, we face different tests, right? The things that you feel the self-worth about are no longer the same things you felt about self-worth when you first started,
That's so true.
right? And the doubt creeps in. And it's not about doubt, can I make it or anything like that. It's the doubt. This guy said it up, sorry. this guy said at a meeting, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next. So all the self-worth and the self-doubt that you gain to get to the top of this mountain, you have to work on them still. Otherwise, if we became if we had self-worth the rest of our lives, then what work? It's going to be boring,
Right. Why would
right?
it matter?
Yeah, why would it matter? We gain self-worth. It's like a video game. I got 5 self-worth. I'm good for the rest of the game. No, you five self-worth only take you this much. Now you got to gain some more self-worth of your next journey, of the bottom of the next mountain. Then you get to top of that mountain, self-worth about the next move, right? So just because you're talking, that's how it makes sense. Like all the things that we feel low about ourselves is because we're facing we leveled up to a certain part where the self-worth only was able that we gained was only able to take us to this part. Now we got to add up more of it to work on the next part of the journey.
Right. It's like almost like all those things were put into place by God to be able to get us to
To
keep
a certain
striving.
part, yeah, keep striving, get to a certain point, and you got to re-up.
Right.
Probably shouldn't use re-up, but sorry. But in that sense, right? Like I need to re-up on my self-worth, self-love, some compassion. If you're gonna take expectations, take grace, you know? But all these things get us to a certain point, and at some point we gotta get more of it because we're facing different journeys, right? The river and the person crossing. Like every time we get to a different river, it's a different river that might be stronger and we need more strength, you
Right,
know?
for sure, and I think, like, that's something that's been huge for me lately is, like, I keep on wanting to get to a place where I'm like, I don't feel anxiety ever anymore, or
Yeah.
I don't ever have those down days where I'm, like, just feeling, like, groggy and just struggling
Yeah.
through it. I'm like, maybe I could get my health right and my sleep right and my
Yeah.
food right, and I could get my mindset right and my spirit right, and I'll never have to suffer again, and it's like but it's just not possible, and it's like and it's part of that the struggle is what makes life so great. It's like
Yeah.
that's what makes you stronger, it makes you smarter, it makes life like the other side of it. Like I think of like being deep in addiction and where I'm at now, and the contrast is what makes this so great. You know, like
Yeah.
my connection to God is so great because I know what it's like to be close to the darkness, like we talked with Arnie.
Yeah.
And like that contrast and like the ability to see the things were one way and now they're this complete other way, it makes it so much more valuable to me and my life.
Yeah, and that's the thing that keeps you going. And our conversation with Arnie said exactly what fits over here. We chose the harder road, but we find more purpose. We feel more fulfilled on this journey. It definitely is a lot better than the path we were on, but it's a lot harder working path. This path is a lot more effort, a lot more resilience. It takes a lot more work,
Right.
but the value of every time something comes up and being able to make it to the other side is definitely worth it, you know? Like going through something hard. You said your connection with God, and I feel like the reason why you feel this great connection with God is because all the tests he threw at you. Without these tests, God would just be some figure in the sky to you.
Right. I wouldn't have had a reason to search him out.
Yeah, and now and every time something else comes up that you're able to get through, makes your connection with God a lot closer, right?
For
And
sure.
every time and that's why, like, that's why we always gotta, gain more of these things. Like, we think we gained some, for me, self-worth, and I thought, "Oh, I know I'm worthy." And if that was good enough to last the rest of my life, then I wouldn't be growing anymore. I would cap myself to whatever I reached that point at. But if I want to continue to grow, I got to keep pushing these further. I got to keep pushing my self-love. I got to keep pushing self-forgiveness for not reaching the expectations I set for myself. I got to have grace when I don't reach those things. And I got to keep working at being the best version of me for me, not anybody else, for me. But because I become the best version of me, other people are able to feel it,
Right.
right?
Explore them in a roundabout way.
Yeah, in a
Mhm.
like a bank, yeah, a roundabout way. People will just be around and like to be around. At the end of the day, like the journey really is going back in, you know? And I swear this conversation is just got me all like it's a dope one. But I feel like all these tests are the things that make us strong to a certain point, and then we got to keep working.
Right.
Otherwise, life would be boring. you
Right,
know,
and I'm super
like
grateful.
really.
And it's cool the like, it doesn't matter what the test is, like, you can figure out a way through it, you can find ways to handle it, and it's always like they said there's a quote, I'm not as good at quotes as you are, but, like, something along the lines of, I've won 100% of the battles that I've faced, you know? It's like I'm
Uh,
still here today regardless, it's like I went through the depths, or I've been through, like, really hard things in life, but no matter what, I'm still alive, I'm still here, I'm still fighting, and that means I've won
yeah,
every single day since, my birth. And
yeah,
so it's just proof that God provides, or proof that like the work we put in matters, and it's proof that like that you can figure out a route that's going to help you get to the next step of your life, no matter what happens,
yeah.
and no matter how broke you are, or how struggling you are, how financially unstable you are, or emotionally unstable. Like there's always more to the story.
Yeah, and if you are religious and you believe in God provides, He provides, but you also have to do some work,
To,
right? Huh?
to tell you a joke.
No, what? Do you want to hear one? Okay, so it's like my cousin. He was struggling with his family, because money was short, and he was praying to God. He found out the lotto was like 100 million, and he said, God, I need to win the lotto to make ends meet so my family don't leave me. Times are hard. He ends up getting fired from his work because so much stress is leaking into his job, and now he's praying even harder to win the lotto. And he don't win the lotto. They lose their house. They try staying in an apartment. The wife said this is too small for him and his wife and his three kids, and so they end up leaving him. He loses his apartment. He ends up on the streets. He dies. Um, uh, Years later, I was dreaming, and he showed up to me in my dream, and I said, "What's up, cousin?" And he said, "Man, I talked to God." And I was like, "What's up? What happened?" He was like, "Bro, I went up to him right after I died and I said, God, I just wanted, all I had to do was win the lotto and I would have saved my family and myself from all this suffering." And God said, "Well, you got to buy a ticket,"
That's it.
right?
And that's the truth.
You got to buy a ticket. Like God will provide, but you got to do your share of work. Like he's not just going to say, you're not going to just pray and say, God, I need the lotto. And then he goes, lotto. You got to buy a ticket. Get up. Whatever the ticket is, you can call your ticket honesty. Be honest. Get some honesty in your life. Have some integrity. Find some compassion for yourself. Find some self worth, which is a struggle that I still have, and I'm working on it too. I'm not just saying these things and not working on them. I like the way Mason picks what we talk about, because a lot of times it's reminders or reminders of things that I've worked on, or reminding me of things that I need to work on. And I love the all the topics we picked on, but self-worth is definitely, like, I pray for more of this worthiness of myself, but I also have to do the work, right?
For sure.
God will help, but you also have to do your fair share of work. Buy the ticket.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's something that's crazy is like that. I was going to bring that up earlier on in this podcast, is like the topics and the discussions that we have has been leading me into like more self-discovery. Like I've
Yep.
been in order to like, I want to keep these topics coming, and they come pretty simply, like, it
Yeah.
comes up there because there are so many different options that we can choose from, but because I've been going through and finding different topics and writing questions and digging deep, it's caused me, like, as my own personal journey has been, like, really deep, like, I've been really getting super self-aware. I notice how in the things when I start doing things I'm not proud of or I don't like about myself. I notice when, other people are doing things that I'm like, "Man, that would be really helpful if these guys could understand these certain concepts," and then now the list of like topics like is
Yeah.
out of hand. There's
Yeah.
so
And
many.
they're so good, right? Like I love all the topics that we've talked about so far, and I can't wait to see what else comes next. But if any of this hits you, man, watch it again. Like like if you're watching it happy, watch it when you're when you just need something to do, and it'll hit different that way. Like, I don't know, I watched all our episodes again at least twice, and even though, like what Mason was saying with Arnie, even though I was part of the conversation, it definitely hit different when I listened to it from a viewer's perspective, and benefited differently that way. I just love it. This podcast, this whole journey through this podcast definitely has helped me become stronger, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, uh in all the ways. right? I wish this was like a gym right here. Man, I'd be like, yoke.
Yoked.
Yeah, bro.
Dope.
Like this.
But it is a gym in its own right, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's a mental, spiritual, and emotional gym right here. And because of this, like the alignment of my core beliefs is definitely getting its workout,
Right.
right? This is us hitting the gym for internal workout. And bro, like something try mess with me and our internals battle, oof, good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, bro. Like that and things do pop up where it tests my values and it tests my mental and my emotional, but because of the strength that I gain for myself because of the work I put in for me, it doesn't phase me as bad as if you were to talk to me my first couple weeks when I first started this journey. I would have definitely played victim. I would have definitely walked and left whatever I was in. I was a professional runner. Or my friends are probably gonna clown on me because I don't run. They probably call me a professional walker, right? I can walk out of any situation and hide from everybody. If like I was good at hiding from all the things that I didn't want to deal with in my life, but now I'm in a state of mind to where I'm not ashamed of anything I've done up to this point. For this last 2.5 years, all I've done was work on me. And if not to be rude, but if you don't like it, shoot, I'm cool with it. I promise. If you don't like the way I am, find somebody that you do like and follow them and find somebody that you can benefit from. This is not about this is the only way to do it. No, we're just being part of the solution. We're just in this journey of making healing become a movement. If you can find somebody else that you relate to better, find them. You know, this is just us doing our own thing, trying to be part of the solution, right?
Yeah.
Trying to keep pushing this wave and help everybody understand that there is a way to live better mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you
Right.
know?
I love that, bro. And that's something that's for the podcast or for everything, honestly, like in recovery and in our lives. Like I got a text message just today actually from somebody that was wanting to uh team up with a couple of people for our outreach. And they were like, we can keep the name the same, all those type of things. And I was just like, you know what? Like it's not for me and for you, obviously, it's not about that. Like it's about the service, it's
Yeah,
about what we're doing for the people that are trying to find purpose and get into serving other people, and it's for the people that we're serving. It's like I want all of us to band together. I want
yeah,
all of us to do our part. I want the community to come together. I want every community that's doing this work to come together and make it a bigger movement.
yeah.
It's
Because
not
that's
about
what it's
just clan
about.
life.
It's not about whose name is first, right?
Right.
Like it is, it at the end of the day, it's just a service,
Right.
right? And if your intent is other than that, man, you got to be careful. Be careful of people's whose intent is other is not of service. Like,
Right.
yeah,
And
like
it's
there
and
and
it's
there's a lot out
damaging
there.
for them, for their own souls, and so it's, like, more so for their own lives. It's like, it's sad if that's not what if you're out there doing service work for attention, then it's like you're not getting the benefit that you could be, you know?
Yeah,
But, like, what I really do love is that the vast majority of people that I come in contact with, like, that their intent is to help,
yeah,
and the thing is, like, my intent more so than like, I love that we get to be of service to, like, the unsheltered population or to other people that are struggling and those type of things, but my main thing is, like, to give the people in recovery that come to help something to feel passionate about, something that they can feel like they went and did service,
yeah,
and that's kinda where my service is to help
yeah.
those people find what it feels like to know what it's like to give back and to receive the blessings that come from helping other people.
Yeah, build a community of service, right?
Right.
And you said you're banding together with other people to make this next outreach. Yeah, being of service is definitely one of the strong points and one of the things that I love about my my journey. Because we're talking about outreach, and outreach is being in the service of our fellow people. Um, our homie Todd Sylvester, who's the life coach at Wasatch Recovery, has these 4 principles. I renamed it to the SHI principle because my memory's not so good. So it's SHAI. It's service, honesty, accountability, integrity. But service is one that that like all 4 of them I stay true to. I love doing service. I love being somebody that is willing to go out and help people. And it's crazy because man, I remember like the second time I went to go do outreach, which is where we took sack lunches to North Temple on a block. Man, I met one of these guys I used to smoke dope with. And I went up to him. the person I was with gave him a sack lunch, and I gave him water, and I called him by name, said what's up to him. He looked at me and he was already talking, right? And he was for sure in psychosis, but he was talking, and it was so sad to see. And it was like it was like me looking into the future if I kept going along the same path that I was going. Um, that was definitely me looking into the future of what could have been for me. Um, and I asked him if he needed anything. He kept talking, but you could barely hear him talking. He was just mumbling stuff under his breath, looking at me, but not talking to me. I don't know if he really saw who I was. And it was sad, but I love being a part of service to I wish I could be more of service to the people I know, but at the end of the day, it's about people helping people, and whoever out there needs help, I'm glad that I'm able to be part of Clean Life Community's outreach program and being of service that way.
Well, and I think that like a huge piece of this is like we're way more of service than we realize in our everyday lives anyway.
Yeah,
It's like just being a friend to somebody is being of service, or just showing up for somebody when they need support is being of service. And so it's not always like some massive
yeah,
outreach that we do that is the only way we serve. So
yeah,
you are way more of service to your people than that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like people
for
need you.
sure.
They're super grateful for you. So anyway, so this is the Mobile Outreach Utah. Like if you guys need to get a hold of them, they have email address. I'm gonna post this on the Clean Life page, but it's admin@mobileoutreachutah.com, and they are looking for a bunch of donations, like all kinds of things from like peanut butter, crackers, applesauce cups, blankets, gloves. There's a whole list of things that we can donate. And then on the 18th, it doesn't say on here, I think they put it in a text message, but I'll post it all on the Clean Life page so that you guys can get the information. But on the 18th, they're gonna take all those donations and do sorting and make them into Christmas bags. And then on the 20th, it says they're gonna meet at 423 West, 300 South at 12 p.m. to go and distribute these Christmas bags to people in need. So if you guys want to be a part of that, it's a good way to give back for
Yeah,
Christmas. And these guys have a massive outreach. We ran into them a few times down there, and then it's some guys from my church, so I already connected with them. So it was like, I'm gonna start really trying to organize. So this is something that we've been running into is like we all are in the community of, and we're all in the same service of helping other people. Then we all hit the streets at different time, like a different mindset at different times in different places. And it's like, why not come together and do one big focused group of people working together? You know,
yeah,
we could support way more people that way. So,
yeah. I just seen um on your page on Facebook, you shared this. I forgot who it was, but you shared that she works at like a youth place,
mhm.
and I was like, and I was about to leave to go to Fashion Place Mall and buy me a new hat, and I was like, ah, I got a bunch of hats, so I messaged her and I was like, hey, like I want to help donate some things, but what about if I just gave you some money and you can go get the right things instead of me guessing and getting the wrong things? She was like, "Well, it'd be cool if you went and did it. That way you can get a video of yourself shopping." I was like, "Ah, that's all good." And she was like, "Okay, you can. I'll text you my Venmo, and then is it cool if I shout you out?" I was like, "That's not necessary, but if you want to, go ahead." And I was like, if I didn't see that post that because I was just scrolling, getting ready to get up and go to Fashion Place, and it was dope because like I got a bunch of hats.
Yeah,
Like I got a bunch of hats, so it's one less hat. Oh,
that's amazing.
or help a bunch of youth get it's for like cleaning supplies or something.
Yeah, they needed all kinds of things, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's crazy about support too, is like even if it's just a little bit goes a long way.
yeah,
So when you can go do a little bit more, it goes even further.
yeah.
But what's cool is like that's Manny. You know probably know Manny and his wife Misty, and so
Oh yeah, Mystique.
yeah, so
Yeah, but
Manny's the Level Up IOP, and he does like
probably if
that.
I meet him.
He does that 27 links. It's like a nonprofit helping people that come out of prison, like get
Yeah.
community in the community. He does music,
Oh
so
really?
yeah, he does a lot of stuff for the community. It's awesome.
I just feel like whatever you can donate, um, don't think any less of it. Like don't feel like you're not donating enough. The way that makes me feel good is whatever I donate, I just say that's that much less that they have to look for.
Right.
And that's all I had to give up, and I was like, all right, I'll just eat at home or eat at work, and I can eat at work all day.
I wish I could eat at your work now.
Yeah, bro, it's good. And Fern makes dinners.
Yeah.
Fern cooks now, so Fern can cook.
That's something that's cool too, is like there's a lot of like Like, when I think about, doing service work, a lot of times I'm like, "Is it gonna be enough? Are we gonna be doing enough?" And then I have to remember that, like, even if we affect one person's life, like, one person, I if one person watching the podcast gets something out of it, that's enough, you know what I mean? If it does happen to touch 200 people like Arnie's episode, it's like, that's amazing. That's a blessing, that's from God, but, like, if we
Yeah.
can only help one person, if even if it was my own self, but if I can help one person outwardly, then it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because you never know who that one person is, right? You hit that one person and all of a sudden he's Joe Rogan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then that one person bombs the whole world. You know what I mean? Like he all of a sudden his knowledge is worldwide, right? So that's the part where it's dope because we don't know who we're helping, how many people we're helping. We're just definitely not okay, we're not people sitting around talking about how to help. This is just our little way of being part of the solution rather than just sit on the sidelines and say, well, they should do this and they should do that. No. This is our donation into helping healing become a movement, you know?
Right.
And I love those two things so much. So
And it's so true, and it's like, and we're not doing, like, it's not like we're talking about things like, but we're just talking about our own experience.
yeah,
And so if it relates to you, cool, and if it doesn't, then that's okay too. It's just
yeah,
like, this is what we've been through, and this is how it's worked for us. And the thing is like, there's not a doubt, like, it's my life has changed. Like, I, if I look you dead in the eyes, like, my life is different. Anybody
yeah,
that knows me knows that this is a different world I live in. My life, the way I move is different. The
yeah,
energy I bring is different. The people I connect with is different. The life that I'm living is a night and day difference from the one that I was living. And so, like, for me, this path worked.
yeah. And I don't know Mason before he got to Wasatch. I know for a fact that he got to Wasatch Recovery on March 20th, 2024, because he came in on the same date as me just a year later.
Yeah.
From when I first met Mason till now, I can attest to the fact that he is different. He's grown a lot um from when I first met him and is a great person. Like meeting people when they first get there, you hear things that they have to say. And then the thing about my work is I get to see them follow through on what they have to say or just find out if it's just all lip service, you know?
Mhm.
And knowing Mason now, there's a lot of time, bro. There's a lot of times when we chop it up, and you say stuff, and I run it like I play the tape back of when first meeting you. I was like, bro, I remember he said that shit, said that stuff. I remember us talking about this, you know, and it's so dope because like I don't know, everything you've told me, every like the person that you are was like a dim version of who you are now.
So true.
Right? Like who you are now is the same person, just with this big glow. Like you went from being like a little dim star into the sun.
I love that, brother. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. Cause yeah, it feels like that, honestly. Cause like, and that's probably the route for a lot of people is like,
yeah,
it just magnified who we are
yeah,
in either in the negative light or the positive light. It's like, it's a magnification of
yeah.
what we're really at on the inside.
And what you're really trying to push about you, right? Because I know definitely there was an eclipse. Like I was an eclipse in my life, but I was the eclipse. Right? It wasn't until I started finding out about who I am, where the eclipse started to fade. I started finding out what I want to be, what are my true core values that I want to have about me, how I want to present myself, how I want to walk in this life and talk and speak with people to where I finally was able to escape the eclipse and become the sun, you know?
Yeah.
And that's dope. Like I see that in a lot of people. A lot of people do just talk the talk, but not a lot of like. And you see people walk the walk, but not this good,
Yeah.
you know. And there's a bunch of people that do it and they run it good. Um, I'm just like Mason is just somebody that I've been friends with since he got to the program, and it was great to watch his journey up to this point, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. But
We're part of it too.
yeah,
So one question real quick before we wrap this up. So what do you want this podcast to become for the people listening?
healing becoming a movement. I
And
love that line so much.
me too.
But this is, like I said earlier, this is instead of us being on the sideline trying to critique everybody else that's doing this. Another one of Mason's things is be part of the solution. This is us being part of the solution instead of just critiquing everybody else that's trying, right? And I love it. I just want to let everybody out there know that healing is a movement and healing is possible. Like I that's what I want it to be.
I love
I
that.
want it to be where everybody understands that if you put in a work, internal work for you, that you can find joy and that you're definitely worthy of it. Like you're worthy of joy and happiness and good things in your life, but it's not easy. We're just trying to play our part in any way to help you get to that point. Um, I I was one of those guys that sat in a dark cave and got jealous when people used to come tell their stories and that said, "Oh, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel." Shoot, I sat in no light, and I had to have people come help me, point me in the right direction, and say, "Keep walking." And then walk and walk and walk, and finally you just see this little thing that looks like just dust on the wall, and find out that's light. And you put your hand in the front of it, feels a little bit warm. I just want people to understand that you are worthy of good things. Find some joy and find some love. Give yourself some grace and some compassion.
I love
That's
that.
what I want this podcast to be.
I love that so much, and I think that that's dead on with where my vision for it is as
Yeah,
well. I think that like where what I want the message to be is that like change is possible and that
yeah,
you can do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I love the way what your take on it was because that's exactly it. Is like the healing is possible, change is possible. You can go from the darkest of dark to becoming the light, and that's true. And people there was always that debate back in the day of like, can people really change? And
yeah.
so it's like
We're
living proof.
proof. We're
Yeah.
proof.
Living proof, Arnie, living proof,
Yeah.
D, living proof, all the
Bryce.
people Bryce, all the people that we brought on,
Cherise.
B, all of
Yeah.
them. They've come on here and that and it's so funny because like I remember when I was deep in my addiction and I would see people come and be like, "Oh, you can do all these things," and it was always like annoying, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to hear that from
Yeah.
you, you know, because like I didn't believe it for myself. But so then I think that the next level of what I'm talking about with like helping people see the change is possible is like now I take a step back and say, okay, so what is it that's going to bridge that gap from that mindset to this mindset? And that's something that I've been working on in for the community, for Clean Life, and for the podcast, and all these different things. Is like, what is it that these people actually need to find the journey? And so that's why we're trying to take each step by step and just process it ourselves
Yeah.
so we
I
can
I
get better.
love that. And I feel like we are building a bridge between those gaps just by these conversations that we had. And I feel like the direction we're headed is definitely where you want it to end and where I want it to end. I love you, brother.
I love you from my
These
heart, brother.
conversations are so dope. And I always say at the end of each one, when we're done, it's good. This has definitely been one of those. I felt teary-eyed throughout a couple of at least 3 times or 4 times this episode. So this conversation is super powerful, and I love you guys. Keep listening. Find something for you. This is just me and Mason walking proof that change is possible, and we are worthy of good things.
Hey,
Find
if I didn't edit it out, you guys would see 20 out of 20 times that the second we get done, Daniel says, "That was good." That was good
yeah,
on
it's
every single
so
one. So I want to make
good.
a compilation. I'll put it out on our
Yeah,
Patreon, bro, where people
yeah,
could get your that
like a
was good.
blooper reel.
I love it, bro,
Because I
because
do
it
feel
is that
good.
every time at the
I
end.
feel do good. Like I leave here feeling so lit, but a good lit, like, and there's no amount of money that could pay for this kind of high that I feel whenever we get done talking. And I love that.
I
Like
love
I
you so
truly
much too,
love it.
brother. So if today's conversation hit you guys, don't just listen to it. Sit with it, let it challenge you, let it stretch you, let it call you higher. And because we're all evolving and none of this is done alone. So will you guys please share this episode with somebody on their journey too? And remember that healing isn't just personal, it's a movement.
It definitely is a movement. Just move about your way. Help us becoming a movement by sharing,
And
and
subscribing.
subscribing. Subscriptions would definitely help us get to other people that are looking for somebody like us. And if it's not us, maybe they can jump through us and find somebody that could help us. Because like what Mason said, it's not about the title or the name. It's about people. We're just here helping us, and if we can help other people, that's what we're really about. Love you guys.
Love you guys for sure. Thank you so much.